still beats a good one off it. Progressive helps keep you out there.
Bush's has a secret family recipe for baked beans.
No way.
So that's not our only secret.
Savory black beans, hearty pinto beans, flavorful chili beans.
Bush's beans.
And beans.
And beans.
Welcome back to the Big East Women's Soccer Championship on FS1, brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. We are here in the nation's capital, and it is Georgetown with a 1-0 advantage over Butler. As we have played 45 minutes of soccer, we are so glad you decided to join us here on FS1. Monica, you take a look at the first half. Kind of a difference of the first half of halves, if you will. Georgetown really got after Butler for the first 20 minutes, but I was really impressed with the way Butler played that final 20 minutes of the first half. I
thought Butler recovered really well. They got a couple of good offensive opportunities, and I think they got a lot of momentum for their defense. I think the play of some of the players back there, Schmidt and Leonard in particular, really motivated them to do a lot better in the second half of the first half.
We take a look at how these two teams got to this Big East championship game. Two really different games story-wise. Butler team, they really had to outlast Providence in that game as they got a 3-2 win.
They did, and they let Providence come back in that contest. I think they were a little disappointed with themselves that it got a little more exciting than it needed to be. But despite that, it was a great win over a great Providence team.
And on the other side, we saw, of course, Georgetown with a 3-1 win over Xavier to get there. And, of course, we talk about the award winners here in the Big East, and so many of them represented by Georgetown.
Well, you have the only player that was unanimous on the first team All-Big East, Caitlin Farrell, well-deserved. 17 goals, 7 of them are game winners on the season. Megan Nolly, Ariel Scheckman as well, well-deserved. And I was really happy to see Samantha Dewey be midfielder of the year.
Yeah, Samantha Dewey, the midfielder of the year from Xavier. We're seeing Savage, the Big East freshman of the year, representing Butler. But overall, Georgetown, they really took a lot of those awards. And, of course, there's a big reason because they are the #4 team in the country.
And it was well-deserved. Again, I think a lot of those Hoyas were preseason selections in terms of Scheckman and Nolly. They really lived up to all the expectations for this year.
We got Georgetown trying to make their 3rd straight Big East championship. They got on the board early, a goal by Caitlin Farrell, and they've got a 1-0 lead at the half here in the nation's capital.
Right now, all fries at Wendy's are just $1. That's a huge deal on any size of Wendy's natural cut sea salted goodness. But a deal this good won't last long. So get your dollar fries at Wendy's before they're gone.
Back in our nation's capital, the Big East Soccer Championship presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. It is Georgetown with a 1-0 advantage over Butler. Glad to have you back at FS1 alongside Monica Moore, Bernie Gunther, and Monica. You take a look at the first half. Butler played a whole lot better, but the one thing, you take a look at the stats in the first half, no shots on goal. That's pretty surprising.
Absolutely, compared to 7 by Georgetown, and a lot of those were in that first 20 minutes or so of play. We don't have a stat for offensive time of possession, but Georgetown, they possessed the ball so well. They really set the tone early on. That first goal was a bit deflating for Butler, but I really like the way that the Bulldogs have responded.
Well, it was a big first half for Georgetown, and Marissa got a chance to catch up with Dave Nolan a moment ago. Marissa?
Thanks, Bernie. Dave Nolan told me he liked the pace and the tempo his team came out with in the first half, but thought towards the end of the first half they started to get a little stretched, so he wants his midfield 3 to stay a little more organized. As for adjustments into the second half, he said there's not going to be too many, except when they're on the ball, he wants them to play a little quicker. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Caitlin Farrell, the difference maker in the first half. It's the second half of the Big East final between the Hoyas and the Bulldogs when we come back on FS1.
Mars is where we solve problems that have never been solved before.
Mars, new season, Monday, November 12th at 9 on National Geographic.
Welcome back to the Big East Soccer Championship on FS1, presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Back on campus at Georgetown here in our nation's capital, getting set for the start of the second half. as the Hoyas lead at 1-0. Marissa catches up with the head coach of the Butler Bulldogs.
Here with Butler co-head coach Terry St. John. You guys are down by 1 goal. What is going to be the emphasis in the second half?
I think just a little bit more composure when we get into the final third. I think other than, the first 15 minutes or so after that goal, we found our way into some deeper territory in their final third, but just didn't have the composure. So just talked about being a little bit calmer in those areas of the field, and I really like the way our team battled the last 15 minutes of that half. So hopefully we can pick up where we left off.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Marissa.
And Coach, talking about some of the same things that you thought about, Monica, as well. The composure in that final third is so key, because it really takes a valiant effort to get it past Ariel Scheckman, particularly with how good that back line is for Georgetown.
Well, and you do all the hard work. You set up a couple of nice passes to set something up offensively and then aren't able to capitalize, and it can be a little deflating. But again, I liked the composure. I like the ability of Butler just to hang in there. Looking at Julia Leonard, I've talked a lot about her in this contest. She's got a lot of tape now on that right hand.
Georgetown playing at home today because they were the top seed in the Big East. They were the regular season champions, so that earned them the right to play in this Big East final at home. So it's the second straight year that Butler has had to come to Washington, D.C. to play in the Big East final. Look at this start for the Georgetown Hoyas, trying to get up 2 goals. Jamina Watnick in the corner.
Leonie Duga back in goal. We talked about it right at the beginning of the game, how we were anticipating that goalkeeper switch at the beginning of the second half. This is something Butler always does. It doesn't have anything to do with the play of Lidke during the first half. And it's going to be trial by fire as Leonie Duga faces a shot early on.
And Grace Dolan will take the corner. And Butler is going to clear it up. Paige Monahan clears it to midfield, where it's going to be settled by Jenna Stout. Another quick opportunity. Caitlin Farrell, who scored the game's first goal, going at it in the danger zone. And she earns a corner.
Julia Leonard again on defense for Butler, trying to contain Caitlin Farrell, which is very difficult to do. Credit Georgetown for coming out in this second half very quickly, earning a couple of corner kick opportunities.
Nguyen with a nice bending ball in towards the near post.
Well defended by Blaka.
Bulldogs trying to absorb the storm coming from the Hoyas in the first couple of minutes here of the second half.
Yes, Ford. Yes, Anya.
I felt like Macy Miller really was a difference maker for Butler when she was inserted into the game. We'll see what type of role she will play in the second half.
She's out on the field right now, and if I recall correctly, I believe last time these two teams played, she started in the second half after playing very well in the first half for her team. But you said it, Bernie, I thought she was a difference maker. She gives them some speed and quickness in that offensive attack.
Talked about the importance of being the regular season champions, because you know if you get your win in the semifinal that you're going to be playing at home, and so that's a huge advantage that Georgetown had of winning the regular season. This second straight year that the Big East has gone to campus sites.
And it's been a great thing, I think, that the Big East has made that decision that they're doing the women's championship like they do the men's. You see the crowd that they're able to get, the fan support. It's a great atmosphere, and it's a great incentive for teams. It's a great reward for what Georgetown has been able to do out on the field.
Macy Miller thought that there was a handball the other way as Butler tried to find the equalizer. Here comes Georgetown trying to go up 2 goals.
You see the confidence of Jenna Royson, the defender, working on offense for the Hoyas.
Savage, nice little ball played forward. This is Paige Monahan with one player to beat, trying to go to goal. She gets around Livingston and chips it towards the far post.
What an opportunity by Paige Monahan. We talked about it in the first half. We were expecting for her to get some good opportunities in this second half. You see the speed. Livingstone back to defend. She tries to get the step on her defender. Did not quite have the angle, but a great opportunity for Paige Monahan. You see why she was picked as the preseason Big East Offensive Player of the Year. She got so much respect this season. The defenders always focusing on her, so she just opened up another facet of her game. Coming into this contest, she already has 6 assists on the season. She's done a great job finding her teammates when all the defensive pressure has been focused on her.
That was a good spot for her to shoot from, because Coach St. John really talked about that she has a great presence. She has a great ability to strike from distance. She's not afraid to take it from at the top of the 18. Here comes Butler on offense, trying to find that equalizer. Seeing if they can test Ariel Sheckman in this Georgetown back line. Georgetown is one of 2 unbeatens in Division I NCAA women's soccer. Georgetown and the defending national champion Stanford Cardinal, the only 2 teams that have not lost a game. Georgetown trying to make some history. Coach Dave Nolan talked about every team trying to do something that hadn't been done before coming in. And it wasn't until game 11 or 12 that Georgetown's head coach really felt like this could be a team that has a chance to finish the Big East slate unbeaten. And here they stand on the final day of Big East play with that goal in line. Not only could they be Big East champions, but this could be the class that has the first ever undefeated season in Georgetown history.
Kira Cook stepping up big on defense for Butler. Again, as Marissa talked about earlier, she was put into this lineup to try to keep Paula Germino-Watnick in check.
Nguyen playing it back. Georgetown trying to build, trying to add to a 1-0 advantage. Great footwork by Germino-Watnick.
She is very dangerous in terms of her crosses, setting up her teammates. This will be a corner kick coming up here for Grace Nguyen.
Corner kick for Georgetown, taken by number 12, Grace Nguyen.
5th corner kick of the match for the Hoyas. Only 1 corner kick so far for Butler, and Nguyen will take it.
Punched out by Duga.
Still in front of the goal's mouth, still streaking through, and Duga will lay down and corral it.
Megan Nolly doing a nice job just getting a piece of that, hoping that Duga would be out of position, but a nice play by the goalkeeper. And it is hard to do to come into games in the second half, but Duga punching the ball out right there, and you see just the presence of mind with all the traffic in front of her, keeping track of where the ball was. And that's going to give her a little confidence.
Duga comes in with 23 saves and a 1.47 goals against average. Good defense there. Butler. Cloisterman stepped up and got it, and she'll keep it again from the feet of Caitlin Farrell. And now tries to play it over the top. Savage is going to try to run onto it, but Savage cannot get there in time, and a goal kick coming for Georgetown.
That was a nice idea by Morgan Kloosterman. She's another one of the dynamic freshmen on this roster for Butler. It'll be very exciting to see her and Anya Savage and a couple of these other freshmen just continue to progress and develop.
Settled by the Bulldogs. Here they come again. Racing into the corner. Kowalski got it in time, And it looks like she's got a corner kick for her team.
And Monahan, slow to get to her feet. She is now back up.
Really looked for a moment like Kowalski had created a corner kick opportunity for the Butler Bulldogs, but they'll say that it was last touched by Kowalski.
So this is Paige Monahan. They've stopped play right now. Monahan was a little shaken up after that last play. It looks like she's going to continue playing. Her team definitely needs her out on the field. She realizes the stakes here, and for this Butler team, really their future a bit uncertain after this contest. They're not quite sure if they would be in contention for an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament if they do not win today. The winner of this contest will get the automatic bid for the Big East. And another good opportunity here for the Bulldogs. Scheckman was there.
Another brilliant play by the Georgetown Hoya goalkeeper. First time she's really been tested today. And she lived up to the test.
And again, you just see the strength and confidence of Ariel Scheckman, so composed back in goal for Georgetown. That was a good opportunity created by Amanda Kowalski. Already 2 goals and an assist on the season for the redshirt sophomore.
Butler back with the throw-in. We'd like to welcome into the broadcast the commissioner for the Big East, Val Ekman. And Val, important for this Georgetown team. They were the regular season champions. They get to host this Big East final, and that's proved to be a really big positive for the Big East to have that top seed host the championship game and to go back to campus sites.
Well, it's first of all, thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here on this beautiful, beautiful day. I mean, first they earned it, right, with a spectacular season here, and then for us to have championship games like this one on campus sites, we really thought would go a long way in terms of crowd support, and that's certainly true in spades today with this great crowd we have here for the game.
It's obviously been a great fall season, and I know we've got winners starting very soon with basketball season. What are some of the big things coming up ahead of us in the Big East?
Well, you're right. Basketball season starts a little bit early this year on Tuesday, actually, of next week. So it was a 3-day move up. Obviously, we've still got some exciting fall sports to be played. I'll be very eager to see what happens today. I want to tip my hat to Coach Nolan and the Hoyas for the great year they've had. Butler has built a great program under Terry and Rob. So we'll be eager to see how we do. And then, of course, our men's soccer championship is next weekend, which should be another hard-fought battle. But of course, in a conference like ours, where basketball means a lot, to have the basketball season around the corner is very exciting for everyone.
And of course, today we're on FS1. Fox has been such a great partner with the Big East, and it's really allowed ladies like today to get some great coverage. It's great for the ladies to be on national TV the way they are today.
Well, I can't say enough about our relationship with Fox. They've been incredible partners since the league reconfigured. You know, Larry Jones, Eric Shanks, everyone down the line has been so supportive of our schools. It's exciting to see their investment in soccer, of course, with the rights now that they hold for U.S. soccer and the World Cup. Of course, the Women's World Cup, importantly, is next year in France, which will be, you know, another incredible global sporting event. Team USA is shaping up, I know, really, really nicely, and have high hopes about how they're going to fare. And what's great for me, at least, to see is what a great level of soccer we have here at the collegiate level. So it's, you know, it's great to see Georgetown doing so well, and hopefully we can get Butler in the tournament as well. Either way, whether win or lose.
Absolutely. We were talking about that a little earlier, as we're seeing a lot of great action out here on the field. But, of course, the one team will get the automatic bid, and then hopes for, if Butler does not win today, that they will get an at-large bid. But these two teams, of course, picked to finish first and second in the league. And as you've said, I think they've really represented themselves well throughout the season.
Take a look at a transfer player today for Georgetown, and they have Kyra Carusa that comes in, and she obviously played 4 years at Stanford, won a national championship, but then she picks Georgetown to come as a graduate student. How important is it for you guys as the Big East to have this great balance of some great academic institutions, but also some teams that obviously are really competitive, with a Georgetown team that obviously played in the Final Four a couple of years ago?
It's a core value of our schools. You know, they really do not only emphasize the athletic excellence, but the academic performance as well. And not you know, I mean, it goes without saying at a school like Georgetown that that both matter, and they're integrated in an important way. And you know, the transfer that you mentioned is sort of evidence of that. So it's been a long tradition here, but it's just really across the board. In the conference, we really do see a strong set of values among the 10 in those two areas.
Well, thanks so much, Val. We really appreciate you spending some time with us on our broadcast today.
Great, thanks, guys.
Val Ackerman, the Big East commissioner, coming down to Washington, D.C. to catch this Big East championship today. And you've seen a really great contest.
Oh my goodness, Annika Schmidt just took a very hard hit from that opportunity from Paula Germino-Watnick. I'm not sure if she got hit in the face in deflecting that ball. We talked earlier about how she is the player out on the field that is covered in bruises, head to foot. It looks like she's going to be slowly getting back to her feet. There was so much power behind that shot opportunity. We're going to get another look here at Germino-Watnick and the deflection by Annika Schmidt. She really has done everything today out on the field for Butler. I cannot say enough about her contribution out on the field. And it looks like she is going to be leaving the field, which is a tough break for the Bulldogs. The redshirt junior, so critical. I certainly hope we see her back in this contest.
She's a huge reason, if not the sole reason, why Georgetown is only leading 1-0. Let's take a look at the preseason poll versus the final standings. Very difficult to get this thing right in the preseason, but the coaches did a really good job this year.
They did a pretty good job. I think Georgetown was the hands-down favorite after winning the regular season and winning the tournament as well, with everything that they had coming back. And they had, of course, Megan Nolly and Sheckman were on that preseason All-Big East list, and Butler as well. Paige Monahan selected as the preseason Offensive Player of the Year. People knew that Butler was poised to have another very strong season.
Keelan Farrell settles it. Gets it off to her freshman. We'll see if they can attack with Schmidt out of the contest, at least momentarily. Butler trying to go back the other way. Soderstrom.
Casey Miller getting tripped up.
Look at Soderstrom working to get it back. She had a chance to go wide. Instead, she goes to Savage. This is the Big East Freshman of the Year. Wanted to try it from the outside.
It was a great stop by Sarah Trissel.
And now the other way, this is Keelan Farrell. Plays it to herself, a round-one defender. Trying to score her second goal of the match, but it's headed away by Julia Leonard.
And Julia Leonard understands right now with Annika Schmidt out of this contest that she's going to have to up her level of play even more. Again, as you mentioned earlier, Bernie, she's the heartbeat on this team. She never comes off the field. Terry St. John told me she's been playing like a senior since the moment she stepped on the field.
Wynn trying to find Paula Germino-Watnick. This is Amanda Kowalski trying to play it over the top, trying to get Monahan something to run at, but Ariel Sheckman, she comes all the way out of the 18-yard box to clear that one past midfield. And again, you see the weapon that she has with the power in her kicking ability. Instantaneously able to take the ball back across midfield and get the Hoyas back on offense.
And I think the thing about Ariel Sheckman that's most impressive to me is that she had these numbers last year, and with all that pressure to step in and basically do the exact same thing that she did last year.
Duga tested on her line, but the shot is wide by Carson Nizelek.
Annika Schmidt is set to check back into this contest along with Celia Gaynor. These are two players that just basically are gutting it out right now.
27, Annika Schmidt, replacing number 2, Katie Soderstrom.
This is a great sign for Butler that Annika Schmidt is back out on the field.
Entering for Butler, number 15.
As you can see, marked up right there with Kira
replacing number
Carusa.
29, Cassidy Blanco. Also entering number 2.
Butler trying to earn their spot in the NCAA tournament. They came into the week 42nd in the RPI. Obviously, they will move up because of their win that they had on Thursday, but the only way that Butler can stand assured when the NCAA selection show is going on that they will be in the tournament is to get a win today in this Big East championship.
Well, as we've talked about, they've had some good opportunities in this contest. They just need to settle down a bit, pick the right opportunity. But I think they have to be very happy with the fact that Georgetown only scoring 1 goal so far in this contest. Again, it was very early on, and they have held Georgetown scoreless since then.
Here is Macy Miller. She has been a huge, impactful player for Butler since she came in. Lost it for a moment, but she's won it back. Trying to find some patience. Gaynor plays it wide to Cook, and Cook gonna try to serve it into the top of the 18. And Savage and Butler called for the foul. It'll be a free kick coming to the Hoyas with 26:30 to play.
It continues to be very physical out on the field. We've seen a number of injuries so far in this contest, and luckily nothing serious as all players have been able to return back out on the field.
Ariel Scheckman and the free kick sent well over midfield. And the 50-50 ball is won by Georgetown and the Hoyas. And the foul going against Butler, and a card coming out for the freshman, Morgan Cloisterman.
That was a hard hit that Jenna Royson took. We're going to take another look here just at the speed and skill. You see the call right there. Not a difficult one for the official. So Jenna Royson back up on her feet. She has been a great addition to this Georgetown roster. Both Jenna Royson and Boo Jackson, who we have not yet seen today. Two outstanding freshman defenders that Georgetown has added to their roster.
The win will take the free kick. This ball loose in the box. Caitlin Farrell was trying to get her second of the match, but denied by Duga in goal.
See how hard Macy Miller is battling out on the field every single possession.
And she's got it back. Can she get through 3 defenders? No, she can't. A little too much. And the win comes up with it, with Farrell racing up the near sideline as well. Still a lot of time left in this Big East final. They say Monahan is onside. She's got the ball at her feet, going to goal for Butler, trying to get the equalizer. Paige Monahan. And this ball deflected back, and Butler will have to build again.
Georgetown just does such a nice job closing in on defense. They have so many of these deflections when Butler's looking to create opportunities, either crossing the ball or trying to take shots. The Georgetown defenders have such great positioning.
Served in. And this ball loose in the box for a moment. Butler picks it up. Cloisterman steps up to win it.
That was great presence of mind by Cloisterman. She did not have a good angle, so tried to reset with possession. We talked about keeping their composure. I think she did that very well.
Gaynor at the top of the 18, denied. And now Georgetown with a chance to counter back the other way. Cook took it away from Jamino-Watnick.
Again, this is why she's in this contest, to really try to prevent Jamino-Watnick from being as creative out on the field.
And Ariel Scheckman off her line as Savage found the ball at her feet.
That was a collision with Jenna Stout, who's now down on the ground for the Hoyas. I believe she got hit in the head. So we're going to get another look here at this collision. She did knock heads with Anya Savage. So, of course, the concern right here may be a potential concussion. Training staff out on the field for the Hoyas, and Jenna Stout is one of those players. She does not get as much publicity as a player like Megan Nally or even Kellyanne Livingstone, but she is so important to that back line. She is so steady, she's so consistent, works so hard, and I rarely have ever seen her make a mistake on that back line. Certainly hope that she is going to be okay.
Let's go back down to the field to Marissa.
Well, Paige Monahan hasn't gotten on the stat line today, but she is running all across this field. Butler co-head coach Terry St. John told me Monahan's fitness is literally off the charts. This team really tracks the players' GPS to see how far and how hard each player is running. And ever since she joined the team as a freshman, Monahan is consistently in the top 2 in terms of yardage covered in a game. She told me Monahan on average runs about 8 miles a game. On top of that, she leads the team in meters ran at a full sprint with 1,400. To put that in perspective, the next closest player runs about 600 meters at a full sprint.
Wow, and you think about it, the other key too is to have Paige Monahan as a senior, as a leader, leading by example with her effort.
Absolutely, and again, the thing for Paige Monahan, she knew that defenses were going to key in on her this year, and she and the coaching staff just talk a lot about her being the best version of herself. It doesn't have to translate in lots of goals scored or lots of assists, but it's doing all the little things out on the field to help her team be successful. And everything that they ask of her, whether it's taking a more defensive perspective in her game, setting up her teammates, she has done it so well. She's a complete player, and again, she's a player that no matter what she's doing out on the field, the defense has to know where she is and keep her in check.
Coach said that she'll go down as the best player Butler has ever had in terms of being a part of really successful teams. Monahan today playing in her 3rd Big East championship game. She's got a win and a loss so far. She'd love to get it to 2 wins and a loss, but right now her team trails by a goal with 24 minutes to play in the second half.
Georgetown's going to send Leah McCullough in the contest to replace Jenna Stout. She's the captain of this team, a graduate student, a very experienced defender. She often starts for the Hoyas, so while it is a huge loss for them not to have Jenna Stout on the field, Leah McCullough, a very capable defender.
That one jumped up and grabbed Macy Miller in the fist. Try to ignore the whistle for a moment. Continue to play on.
Well, at this point, every little thing counts as we're going to get another look here at the handball.
Jenna Royson, the freshman from Toms River, New Jersey, puts it into play. The crowd coming to life here in Washington, D.C. A great crowd on hand here for the Big East final. Trying to cheer their Hoyas onto their 3rd straight championship and an undefeated regular season, which would be something that had never been done in Georgetown history prior to get through the entire Big East regular season in the tournament unbeaten.
This is not a team, though, to rest on their laurels right now. The only thing they're thinking about is winning this Big East tournament and thinking about how that potentially could situate them in terms of the NCAA tournament. I think they're very happy with what they've done so far, but there's a lot more they want to do.
Paula Jamina wanted back. Thought about trying it with her left foot, but she ran into the Butler back line. And now here's Macy Miller. Trying to play it through. Here's Paige Monahan, and at the last moment, the freshman, Jenna Royson, clears it.
This was a great idea right here. Well, this one starts with Jermina Watnick working through traffic, and you see just some of her footwork and skill. But that's Celia Gaynor, who had the injury earlier to set up Paige Monahan.
Schmidt will throw it in. We told you all 3 goals came in the air in Butler's win over Providence in the semifinal.
That was a great throw.
Monahan in front, and Caitlin Farrell can't clear it. Gaynor trying to settle it. Still stays with it, plays it wide, and the offside flag is up on Paige Monahan, ending the opportunity. We are here in the nation's capital, number 4, Georgetown, and the Hoyas well represented.
Well, and certainly for Butler as well, they have this very strong alumni group, a lot of them coming. And one nice thing about being in Washington, D.C., a lot of schools have a lot of alumni here just because of where it is. And so Terry St. John was very happy about the fact that a lot of their alums were going to be able to come today to support this Butler team. Celia Gaynor is one of the players we have to talk about for Butler because she's only a freshman and a little under the radar this year. She has an assist on the season so far, but I think she has played very well in this contest. She has been in the mix a number of times, and Bernie very happy to see Jenna Stout back out on the field for the Hoyas after that collision with Anya Savage.
Senior from Bingham Farms, Michigan, and has been a part of so many great moments in recent Georgetown history. Duga coming off her line to corral it. 20 minutes to play. Still a lot of time for Butler to try to get that equalizer. And they've had a lot more chances of late as Delbaski settles it down. Tried to play it to the near side, but Caitlin Farrell won it back. This is Nguyen. Beautiful ball to feed Farrell. Jermina Watnick making a run as well, and Farrell goes to goal, and Duga's got the save.
Duga did such a nice job there of punching the ball away, not giving up a corner kick. This was a nice play by Caitlin Farrell. Again, you see how dangerous she is even from distance, but that is the second time in this half that Leonie Duga has punched the ball away with a clutch stop for this Butler squad.
The sophomore from Langenfeld, Germany. Coming up big.
Quite a luxury for the Butler coaching staff to have 2 such capable goalkeepers. And one thing Terry St. John told me is that both of them are so good in the air, which is so important in the women's game.
There's that fitness level that Marissa just told us about as Monahan wins it back, but then gives it right back to the Hoyas. Foul against Butler. A free kick for Georgetown at midfield.
Amanda Carolyn doing a nice job working through traffic right here. Again, she is one of the seniors on this squad, and that foul going to go against Toth. For Butler right now, they just have to keep doing what they're doing. They have generated some nice offensive opportunities, and you see how Paige Monahan has been a part of almost all of them in some way. They just need to continue to try to get her involved as much as they can to try to get the equalizer.
They've got to keep pressing numbers up and just trust that that back line could take care of business.
Well, and they've done a great job today. I mean, when you have that back line, players like Leonard and Schmidt who have been so capable, they're just going to have to take the risk at this point. Time starting to run out in this contest.
I tell you this, Butler certainly looks like a team that belongs in the tournament.
Well, that's certainly my opinion, and I hope that they do get an at-large bid if they do not win this contest. I think they're an outstanding team with a lot of talent on their roster. Macy Miller.
She settled it inside the 18-yard box, gives it back to Stolbaski. Gaynor. And Cook trying to step up from the back. Gaynor, the ball in some space. And Monahan was trying to combine, but nobody was going to goal.
Another good opportunity, however, for Butler. I like how they possessed the ball. They were patient. They were looking for the right opportunity again. I think they felt like they had some wasted opportunities in the first half. We heard that when Terry St. John was talking with Marissa at halftime, so they are looking to be more composed.
Gaynor trying to chip it over the top. Miller, can she run on it in time? She's going to create a corner. Set piece opportunity coming for Butler with 16.5 to play as they try to chase the equalizer on the road at Georgetown.
And I think one of the most exciting things about this contest for Butler is some of these unsung heroes for the Bulldogs that you don't ever hear people talk as much about. The Macy Millers, the Celia Gaynors. They have had fantastic contests. And this is really boding well for Butler next year.
Soderstrom, the freshman, will take it. Bending towards the near post. And it's settled down by Carusa.
Just unlucky for Madison Toth. At Georgetown, they do this counterattack so well. They're passing so crisp. I think Butler has been working it better through the midfield. Their passing has been a bit more intentional.
Well, the other positive for Butler is because the Hoyas have been on counter a little bit more than we saw in the first half. It's opened up a little bit wider of a field as here comes Paige Monahan. Here comes Butler trying to even it up again. Right in front, and Sheckman took a deep breath as that one went wide of the pole.
It is going to be another opportunity coming up here for the Bulldogs with the corner. As you see here, Miller once again so dangerous as Sheckman goes diving.
The Bulldogs searching after the equalizer with 15 minutes to play. This time driven towards the far post.
Nicely cleared that time by Livingstone. And one thing Georgetown has done so well is defend these corner kick opportunities. They have been some of the best opportunities that Butler has had.
Paige Monahan.
One of you give us width.
Showing some patience, playing it back. Cloisterman serving it into the box. Paige Monahan. Can she create another opportunity? No, it's going to be a goal kick. And a substitution coming for Georgetown and the Hoyas. As Megan Shaver is going to come onto the pitch.
She played some very good minutes for Georgetown in the semifinal game against Xavier. She'll replace Carson Nizelek. Megan Shaver, one of the seniors on this team. So this will be her last Big East Tournament Championship game.
Great ball movement for the Hoyas. And a foul going against Butler's Schmidt.
Georgetown with the quick restart right here.
13 minutes remaining. I think Macy Miller wishes she was a little more patient with that last touch.
Sometimes trying to do just a little too much, but she has been one of the standouts. We've talked a lot about her in this contest. She's played a lot of minutes. I think she's played the entirety of this second half, and she has been a big part of what Butler has been trying to do, both offensively and defensively in this contest.
Kaylin Farrell. This played on the back line by Schmidt. But it'll go out of play, and the Hoyas will have a throw-in. Georgetown 12.5 away from their third straight Big East championship. The win. Doing a dance down the sideline and keeping the crowd into it.
But you see the intensity and the focus that Butler is playing with right now. They have just upped their game to another level, despite the fact that Georgetown has been in control for most of this contest. Butler, it seems like, is getting the better opportunities right now. But Georgetown happy to keep the ball in their offensive third of the field, just letting more and more time expire off this clock.
And find the feet of Kaylin Farrell. And it's cleared on a play by Julia Leonard. Into Farrell again. She scored in the 3rd minute. That's the lone goal in this Big East championship game.
We talked earlier about the fact that she has scored a goal against every single team in the Big East this season. It is quite impressive what she has been able to do. Half of her 10 goals in conference play were game winners.
Paula Jamina Watnick back onto the pitch for Georgetown. They would love to get that 2nd goal and get a little insurance.
It would certainly change things a bit in this contest. But again, credit this Butler defense, because they have held strong after that first goal scored by Georgetown. They haven't really even allowed many dangerous situations. Their goalkeepers have been able to cover everything else in this contest. Of course, Duga has had a couple of very nice saves in this 2nd half.
They play it back to the feet of the keeper. She's got to use her feet to clear it up. And she does. Good vision. Butler playing it wide. Monahan's making a run down the middle of the pitch. But Soderstrom can't control it. Can she get it back? No. And here comes Georgetown trying to counter back the other way.
That was another very strong play by the Big East Defensive Player of the Year, Megan Nolly.
Amanda Carolyn goes down. Schmidt called for the foul. Free kick coming for Georgetown with 9.5 to play. Driven ball.
Carusa just doing such a nice job controlling possession there. You see 2 defenders.
Not quite sure how Carusa kept that one from rolling out of play. Cook clears it out of play. Throwing coming for Georgetown.
We've talked a lot about the fact that she is such an experienced player, the graduate student who scored a goal in Stanford's national championship win. Just bringing all that experience to this Georgetown team. It has been such an important factor in terms of the Hoyas' success.
She'll tell you she won a national championship at Stanford. She would love to win a national championship right here with Georgetown.
Could
Georgetown
she end
and
up
Stanford.
playing Stanford?
That'd be unbelievable. The only 2 unbeaten teams in the nation.
I'm sure that a competitor like Kira Carusa would absolutely love it.
Step 1, though, they've got to take care of Butler. And they've got 8.5 minutes left remaining in this Big East championship to do so. Cook tested with the win. Gave it right back to Amanda Carolyn.
Georgetown just does such a good job controlling possession and being in the right place.
Paige Monahan, double team, but she somehow finds the ball to Macy Miller.
This is a smart decision by Butler here, switching sides of the field.
Here comes the Bulldogs trying to find the equalizer. Macy Miller stuffed again.
That was Megan Shaver just into the contest for the Hoyas, making a nice defensive play. Macy Miller, though, Bernie, she has been everywhere out on the field.
She has had a tremendous championship game, but she just doesn't have a goal or an assist. As we see Georgetown go to the bench again. Carson Nizelek back onto the pitch for the final 7 minutes. Paige to win.
Monica Schmidt continuing to be there defensively, and the smart play of Schmidt realizing she wanted to get the ball back quickly into play, even though they're going to send her back. I think did not have the whistle.
And she raced up the sideline on the throw-in.
She is a player. She is so respected by every single coach in this league for what she does out on the field for Butler.
Macy Miller. Great composure.
She has controlled the midfield very well today. It is so critical to have those players in the middle of the field that can direct traffic. Again, for Georgetown right now, a lot of this is just clock management. If they can run more and more time off the clock, keeping the ball in their offensive third keeps it away from Ariel Scheckman. But I do like the composure that we're seeing out of Butler. We have not seen too many things that have been forced, everything intentional. It has just been very hard to find an opening in this Georgetown defense.
Five minutes remaining. Cook and Butler still trying to find that equalizer, but they're running out of time now. Soderstrom blasts at it, touched off her right foot. Hoyas with a throw-in. What will it mean for Georgetown to finish the regular season and the tournament unbeaten? Very few teams ever accomplish that.
But I think particularly when you look at the Big East this year, I have been so impressed by the level of play by so many of these Big East teams. Nothing has come easy when you look at what St. John's did this season. Of course, Providence. I talked a number of times about how I thought they were one of the most dangerous teams in the Big East, and that was a very tough draw for Butler in the semifinals to have to square off against that very exciting Providence team. And Xavier, I mean, I think that they are such an up-and-coming team. Nate Lee has done such a great job with that squad. He has more players on his roster that he didn't have last year than he does, but he did such a great job transforming that program in the 2 years that he's been there. I think they are the team to watch next year in the Big East.
Butler inching up the far sideline.
By Jermino Watnick, but Leonard continuing to cover so much ground for Butler. And Carolyn with some room.
Here comes Carolyn trying to get Georgetown up 2 goals. And Duga Barely clears it out of play. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the Big East final.
Let's go. Let's go, AG. Don't let it go to the corner. Don't let the ball go to the corner.
The freshman will throw it in. Jenna Royson. Caitlin Farrell in possession. She's got the lone goal. It happened in the 3rd minute. After Butler controlled the first 2 minutes of play, they misplayed a ball in the midfield, and it opened up the door for a ball played over the top that found Caitlin Farrell, who buried it.
It was a beautiful goal as well.
And if it holds, it'll be the 8th game-winning goal of the season for Caitlin Farrell.
And when you look at the numbers, 17 goals and counting, 3 assists. Last year, she was so much more of a role player in the sense of setting up her teammates. What she has done this year in terms of taking this team's offensive load on her shoulders has been so impressive.
Jamina Watnick still applying pressure.
Monica Schmidt, she's everywhere out on the field right now.
Free kick coming for the Bulldogs. The final 2 minutes with Georgetown leading by a goal.
They're going to have Duga take this.
And she goes right on net, and Ariel Scheckman reaches up to grab it.
So that's not something you see every day, the goalkeeper coming up to take the direct kick, but that was an opportunity for Duga. We've talked a lot in this contest about the composure of Butler, but I think you also have to talk about the composure of the Hoyas, because they have been under fire in the second half of this contest, and that defensive back line has held so strong. They have made very few mistakes in this contest, and it's the offense that always gets so much of the attention. But if this result holds and they get another shutout against a team like Butler,
a huge advantage in corners, and Jamina Watnick is the final 40 seconds tick away on this one. Maybe not even thinking about putting it in.
Well, we talked about it earlier that it is just a lot of clock management right now for the Hoyas, keeping the ball out of Butler's offensive third of the field, and they're doing that very well. Sometimes offense is your best defense, and we're seeing that right now for Georgetown, just letting seconds expire off the clock as they're getting closer and closer to their three-peat championship.
What a year, though, was for Butler. Their best finish ever in the Big East, finishing second overall. Duga, the Butler Bulldogs, one final push as the final seconds tick off here at Shaw Field.
And Amanda Carolyn
with a chance for an exclamation, but the Hoyas, unforgettable, unbeaten, and for the third straight year, they're the Big East champions.
This was very different from last year's championship, however, where the Hoyas scored 3 and were in control. Butler was on the doorstep throughout the entirety of this game. They challenged the Hoyas at every single corner, but Georgetown just too strong today. And Bernie, I think it was the defensive effort from both of these two teams that really stood out to me. A very defensive contest.
The third straight year, the Hoyas raised the Big East trophy here at Shaw Field. A much different team than a season ago, but Dave Nolan and the Hoyas have rebuilt, and they finished the regular season in the Big East tournament undefeated, 17-0-3 on the season. The Hoyas, Big East champions, after a 1-0 win over Butler. what a way to win an unforgettable season. Georgetown unbeaten with their third straight Big East title as they get a 1-0 win over Butler.
And for this Butler team, I really hope that they get a strong look for one of those at-large bids. I was so impressed with them today, their composure, their maturity. They have come so far in terms of where we saw them from last year to this year. And then for Georgetown, this Hoyas team got every single team's best shot in the Big East. Every team brought their A game against them, and Georgetown comes out unscathed, undefeated. They truly are the champions. They have earned this, and it is a great moment for Dave Nolan and his team.
Yeah, what a day for Dave Nolan and the 4th-ranked Georgetown Hoyas. They used the Big East Offensive Player of the Year, Caitlin Farrell, with her 17th goal on the season. It was the only one they needed. As they're the Big East champions. For Monica Moore, Marissa Pilla, and our entire FS1 crew, I'm Bernie Gunther saying so long from our nation's capital, where the Hoyas have won their 3rd straight Big East championship.